Hello, East Point residents. I want to apologize about my voice. I'm just getting over a bad case of bronchitis, so bear with me. But what I'm going to do right now is kind of go over the bill and explain how they're tallying the rates right now. I did have a conversation with someone at the city of East Point, and they kind of gave me the numbers that they're using to figure the tallies. So right here we've got the box that shows the current meter reading that should be on your meter outside of your unit or house, and what the previous month is, and what they're doing, they're subtracting these two figures to get your current usage right here. Well, everyone should have the same base electric charge, which is $12. So if yours is different than that, then you probably want to call the city and have them adjust your bill. For 0 to 500 kilowatts, they're using the figure of 0.0869. So how much of ever you've used of 0 to 500 kilowatts, if you've only used 50 kilowatts, it would be 50 times 0.0869. Most people, most residents, I'm sure, should be maxing this line out, and most are probably maxing this line out as well. Um, so this one is covering 501 to 1,000 kilowatts, and they're multiplying that times 0.1109. So if you're maxing these two lines out every month, these two numbers should be exactly the same every single month. The one where you're probably going to see a difference at or fluctuation at is your 1,000 to infinity number. This month my usage was 930, so it's 930 times 0.1279, which came out to $118.94, but of course they rounded up, so it's 118.95. The power cost adjustment, they said, is they're multiplying your total current usage times 0.0164. And what this is supposed to be is this is supposed to be the difference that they're paying out to the power company for the uptick on the high pay raise. But if that's the case, it doesn't make sense that these figures have also gone up, because that was the reason that we were given for these percentages to go up as well. So it's like we're getting hit multiple times for the same thing from my point of view. It also kind of goes against that email that Lance Rhodes sent over, where he made mention that most houses that are using 1,000 kilowatts would see roughly a $22 increase. And you figure I'm using roughly 2,000, so I should see an increase of, based on his calculation, of about 44 bucks. Well, just like you, most of us are seeing increases of 100 or more. I've got neighbors over here that have increases of 400. One of my neighbors has a bill for $500, another one for $600. So the increases are way more than Lance Rhodes may have been led to believe from his colleagues there. So it would be great if someone from the city could give us some kind of explanation why the rates are a lot higher than what they're leading us to believe they should be. I'll also include this letter from Lance Rhodes in with this example bill, breaking down how they're coming up with these calculations. Because of because of this price increase, it's caused me to try to change some things around the house, as far as what I've been doing, unplugging electronics when I leave, which for a while that was doing great, but with this new power increase, it wasn't enough. So what I've gone a step further to do was actually turn off breakers in the house when I leave for the day. And I'm actually taking pictures of those. So let me pull those up real quick. All right. So what I do is when I'm leaving the house, I go into the garage and I turn off all the breakers except for my alarm, my refrigerator, and my garage door. And I go out and I take a picture of my meter, and to keep a visual record of where it's at. What I also do is I make sure I keep these numbers in here, this barcode here, and these numbers, because that's proof of what meter that I'm using, because the city has a meter number here, so you want to be able to verify that it's actually your meter number, the 40469914440469914. So I'm taking a picture of my meter here. When I get back home and I flip my breakers back on, I take another picture of it. And I'm doing that because I want to see how much my house is pulling while I've got everything turned off, and it seems to be doing pretty well with turning the breakers off. Um, Once I'm back home and I turn them on, um, I I come back out when I do turn it back off if I happen to leave back out, and I'm able to see again how much did my house pull while I was there, and again if I when I turn it back on. So every time that I'm leaving the house and turning the breakers on and off, I'm taking a picture and keeping track of what my house is doing. At the end of the month, my numbers should be pretty much exactly where the cities are. And if I see a discrepancy, then I'm definitely gonna take my evidence down there to them and let them know that they're up to something. um, our city, or in our area, the city of East Point over here, for villages of East Point, they typically are pulling our records or our utilities on the between the 10th and the 15th of each month. They have like a 4 to 5 day window where they pull those numbers. So around that time or when you get your bill, just check your dates and compare your dates to their date range and make sure that your numbers are falling in the same range. So for this one day right here, my house ended up pulling in a total of 30 kilowatts, and I got that by subtracting the 91 292 by the 91 322. So it's 30 kilowatts. Hopefully, I will see a big difference on the next bill, even though according to some of you all, this is probably considerably low. It's still quite high to me. I'm used to averaging between 150 to $234 a month by when I was just unplugging electronics in the house, but I was definitely not expecting this kind of an increase. So hopefully this helped out. I'm going to have some all these links or Excel documents and this worksheet in there, and hopefully this helps out. If you all have any suggestions of anything I could do different that might be able to help out, or any suggestions that I might even be able to do for around the house for myself, then maybe we can post those on the group or in the group email. All right. Thanks for your time.